Hi everyone, here is my infiltration project on erosion bottles. So we were asked, how does soil and land cover impact infiltration and runoff? And we were told to kind of look into different ways that we could discover that. I ran with the idea that we were given about the water bottles and soil. And the one suggestion was to use grass. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough time to grow grass, but what I did do is I collected different weeds and I planted the weeds a few days ago, gave them as long as I possibly could so that they could really grow. And they did, and they thrived and they did fine. So I did that. And then I used, that was one bottle, I used the weeds growing. And then another bottle, I actually used rocks because we have like a flooding issue in our house at the basement before we moved in. And they put rocks all over and they diverted water. And I was wondering if maybe we could use rocks. So I did that and to help reduce the water runoff. So I'll show you what happens. So the plan was to use the water bottles. I cut the tops off in the middle, or I cut the middles off. I took the tops off and then I cut the middle off and I put in dirt into each one. After adding the dirt, I added the different materials into each one. So you can see I have one filled with rocks and then I covered again with dirt and put larger rocks on top. These are the weeds that I planted for a few days and they started to grow actually on their own. And then I have one with just the dirt. So I had one with dirt and rocks, and one with dirt and weeds. So this was the results. And, oh, sorry about that. As you can see, the water is actually like very similar in each class. The cleanest one was the one with the rocks, and I think it really just kind of held down the soil from traveling out of the bottle. But the soil one and the weed one were very similar, and the rock one is slightly cleaner water, but still not great. One way to improve is if I had longer time and allowed the weeds to really get a root system, or the grass, if I could use grass, it would help to have them have this weed system that you can see in this one, and that would all hold the moisture in so that when the water starts to pour out, it actually wouldn't carry much dirt with it. And I think that's with the infiltration of water, we're looking at how when we develop and we create so much cement that these root systems aren't happening because we're taking all the plants out and then they're not able to hold the water. So that's why more floods happen in developed areas and whatnot. The rocks did help keep some of the soil in and keep the water cleaner. I think it would have worked better if I had a full layer of thin rocks and then didn't put more dirt on top, but we put more dirt on top so that it was kind of a rock layer in between. When we are looking at the STEM practices, I definitely think it falls in all areas, more of the science and engineering, but there was some areas in technology and mathematics. For science, we definitely planned and carried out the experiment, the investigation. We had to create explanations as to why different things happened. With engineering, we used the models and carried out the investigation. For technology, I used the technology in order to look for ideas and thoughts as to why this might or might not happen, especially with the grassroots. And mathematics, we were making sense of a problem and solving the problem. The standard alignment with the next generation science standards was practice 2, developing and using models, and practice 3, planning and carrying out investigations. All right, bye-bye.